So what are the emerging trends? So this is the canvas or the operating framework that you need to have in mind as a property investor. I'm going to refer to you as a property investor. By that, what I mean is that you come to the property sector, whether you're in construction, upstream, downstream, to get a return. So the battle for returns will first of all be won in our minds. We know that there are people who've been told that you work from home for the foreseeable future. Even employees and staff and workers want it. Why? Because they're able to work safely, they're able to save a lot of time. Maybe they have some work commitments that they cannot easily show up in the office. And indeed, it may be something that helps them save income, save rent from office space. Number two, reduced uptake of property, and relativity stable property values. I know some of you will tell me that during COVID, you've seen a lot of uptake of property, but we studied economics. We said that in economics, we say property is a lagged indicator of the economy. What do we mean by that? That the money people are investing now in property, because our research shows that some people, especially those who wanted to build in houses for individuals and families to live in, have gotten very huge demand. But that this is income that has been earned over the last 2 to 3 years. So right now, if the incomes are reduced, this may affect the property 1.5 years to come, because then people will not have all these accumulated savings that then they can deploy. But that doesn't mean that you can't still make a good return as a property investor. What you need to do is to think carefully what you're doing, even when factors are favorable. And that happens like in almost all markets, including property. So we know that also if a property is being 50,000, prefer explain why that people may not be willing to take a reduced rent rather than the property being empty months on end. But that's something we'll talk about and discuss today. So it's exciting. What we are going to cover: lower rents, prices, and transaction volume. By lower rent, we mean customers will be willing to offer or counter-offer lower rents. So that's something we need to keep in mind. Prices. There's a time we see prices shooting up very, very much over a very short season. But I think that might be a bit slowed down. And then transaction volumes might be a bit subdued. Today we are just moving forward. We know that the restrictions have come off. The past is gone. We are working from today going forward on how we should position ourselves as property investors. Disrupted supply chains, reduced funding due to risk aversion, and not only at the developer level, but also at the customer level. Why funding? Because if many people have lost their employment, then they cannot again easily qualify for mortgage. And we need customers, whether it's corporate customers who are buying office space, who are buying hotels, who are buying large properties, and also retail property owners. Shop closures and increased focus on e-commerce. We know many people are buying online, and because now we have so much internet, even before a customer shows up, the first thing they do is check the prices online, even including of how rent, how much should they buy their property for. So there's that ability to go online and compare. And then closure of hotels and meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibition. And this is an important sector. It's collectively it's called MICE. Why? Because it brings in very high income and other facilities. Because if you have a conference, let's say in Machakos, in Kisumu, the next moment what happens? The houses there are rented out by people who work in hotels. There is a lot of demand for tourist products. Like after the conference, people go out, they buy things, the hotels are occupied, staff are getting paid, business people are able to supply to the hotels. So tourism is very, very important. in our sector. The takeaway is we are thinking of demand. What is demand? Demand is our customers willing to pay. Are they able, even when they are willing? For example, I might be willing to get a very good house in a very nice place, but am I able to get the money to close the deal? Increased time at home, upgrades. Yesterday I visited my friend who's upgrading the kitchen, and people are willing to spend. But what are the factors that are causing demand? And I'm telling you, as I said, you really now have to think very well before you bring a property, an investment to the market. And indeed, I tell property investors, the fact that you can get money, that is not a proof that an investment is good. Of course, so far there have been reduced global movement, and this will end with time. And then increased online shopping, reduced need for retail outlets. Yes, maybe the big space may be out of fashion, but people still love to test products, whether it's a handbag, a shoe. People still love to test the product. So those are factors to watch for, regardless of what market you're playing in. And in property, we say that there are different markets. Yeah, there are different markets. Right now, because people are not commuting a lot in the estates, as we say, nearby shops and the village shops, people are buying from there. So they are seeing people normally come to the large cities, like what we call urban nodes. Now no longer have the luxury of doing it, because now they're working from home. Then they have to shop nearer home, and it's convenient for them from a point of transportation. What are the factors affecting supply? Just moving on quickly. Positively, government incentives, government partnerships. Government is asking, come give us ideas. If you're going to bring up 1 million property, we need locks, maybe 10 million locks, we need hinges, we need doors. And those are opportunities even to invest. You don't even have to do the actual tree work or the actual making. You can be the investor. You partner with somebody with those skills. The Africa is integrating. So in future, we'll have a lot of travel and movement. Raising tourism and hospitality. We know now, in the past, like Christmas is coming, we'd all go to the village. Now there is a change in culture where people are saying, can we visit new areas, new places? Because we visit the village every 2 days, every weekend. Why can't we travel around? So hospitality, tourism, whether it's local or foreigners coming, that's an opportunity. And then increased industrialization. We are a developing country, we'll see more manufacturing, whether you're making a yogurt plant, whether you're making something to package a product, plastics. We need to grow. We are importing a lot from abroad. And I know over time, because of supply chain distractions, people are asking, what can we manufacture locally at a good price? I think that's an opportunity, manufacturing sector. And I know some of you could be in that sector.